Hello. In celebration of India's extraordinary achievements in space exploration and to glorify the scientific inquiry that is undertaken by our country, Ajeenkya DY Patil University or ADYPU is very excited to have this conversation today with an expert in space science. And we would like to also bring out a few points about details of the space mission that we are taking going to talk here, the Chandrayaan-3. In this conversation, we would like to delve into three aspects. Firstly, the significance of the mission, what are its scientific goals, and how it brings in the Indian space exploration to the international platform. Finally, we would also like to highlight the Ajeenkya DY Patil's commitment to bringing new education in the forefront of space explorations to our engineering student community through starting of courses like aerospace engineering and M.Tech in space technology. So we are very excited to have this conversation. I'm Dr. Jyoti Singh, the program leader of M.Tech Space Technology, a Nuovos program at Ajeenkya DY Patil University. And I'm very happy to have with us a very illustrious personality, Shri Pramod Kale ji. Sir, welcome. He is a scientist who has worked for many decades in the Indian Space Research Organization, or ISRO for short form. I will give a brief introduction to Sir, and then we will start with the interesting exploration of Chandrayaan-3 mission details and other aspects of space exploration that India has undertaken. So, Kale Sir started his journey into the space science from a very early start of his career, namely even as he was completing his MSc at Gujarat University. He was working for an internship in Physical Research Laboratories, Ahmedabad, where he met the most renowned space explorer and the pioneer of Indian space mission, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. He was a research student of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai for 3 years. In that time, he later shifted to the Thumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Center, and from there for work he also went to the Goddard Space Flight Center of NASA in USA. After that, he has spent a whole life in ISRO, leading many different aspects of Indian space missions, and has achieved a great success along with many other colleagues of his. So the Indian space science really grew under his eyes, so to speak. He has received many accolades and awards in his lifetime, and I would like to only point out two most significant awards that I thought I should bring to this discussion today. The first one was that in 1984, the Indian government felicited him with a Padma Shri for his achievement in space science and developing launch vehicles and also the training systems for space missions. And then in 2006, he got the Aryabhatta Award, which is conferred for his lifetime continuous achievements and contribution to the astronautical work that happened. This award was given by the Astronautical Society of India. With this brief introduction to a great amount of work that Kale Sir has done, I would like to welcome him. Sir, it is a privilege to have you here at ADYPU for this conversation on the most exciting topic of the day, the Chandrayaan mission.
Sure.
Okay, so as we all are aware, Chandrayaan-3 mission was launched on 14th July 2023 from Sriharikota, and it has completed 5 orbits around the Earth with ever-increasing size of the orbit. And finally, it reached a nominal distance from Earth, where it went into the trans-lunar trajectory and then it was captured into an orbit around the moon. Once it reached the lunar orbit, it went on rotative revolving around the moon for 5 orbits with ever decreasing sign of the orbit. And finally, on 17th August, it had reached the closest approach that we wanted it to be at. And then the most significant aspect of this mission was performed, namely the task of separating the propulsion module from the lander one. Once that was achieved, a long journey we already see of Chandrayaan-3's journey to the moon was done. Of course, the final and the most significant step still awaits us. Namely, the lander module has to actually land on the moon very successfully, and then the lander module, which is called the ground, and the rover, which is called Pragya, has to do its science exploration of the lunar surface. So, with this brief introduction, which we all are aware of, I would like to ask my first question to Kai sir. Sir, could you give us a little background of Indian space program, which has culminated in this very ambitious Chandrayaan-3 mission?
Okay. We started the initial work of the satellite tracking from Physical Research Laboratory. That was in 1960. And in 1962, as the progress was happening in USA, in USSR, France also, the government of India decided to set up a committee that was the Indian National Committee for Space Research. And this was set up with Dr. Vikram Sarabhai as the chair. And one of the first decisions that was taken by this committee was that at that time we knew that something that was happening near the magnetic avatar could be affecting our weather. And to study that, we needed to have certain experiments to be carried out from the magnetic equator. So it was decided that we should set up a rocket launching station at near Thiruvananthapuram, north of Thiruvananthapuram. The magnetic equator passes. Now, there was a very big interest in the magnetic equator in the Asian region. The magnetic equator passes slightly north of Thiruvananthapuram, and in the American side, it passes south of the equator near Brazil. USA was able to do a certain amount of experiments from the magnetic equator by actually carrying the rocket on a ship and launching it from there. In India, we had the opportunity that we could do it directly from here. And also, the same facility would be encouraged by other countries also. So there was a concept that we can take it up to the international level also. And once this decision was taken in 1962, a team of 4 people was selected. I was fortunate to be in that particular team. Mr. Prakash Rao, Ramakrishna Rao, as if we were from the Research Laboratory. So all of them came from the atomic energy electronics division. And we first, 4 of us, we went in the first week of January to USA at the Ordnance Space Flight Center to study, to learn about launching the rockets, preparing them, doing instrumentation for the rockets. And then the second team arrived with about a month or so. That was Mr. A.J.'s work team. And each of us, and Dr. M.S. Rao was the meteorologist. And then in the same team was A.P.J. Abdul Kalam. Now, first of us, we were electronics engineers, others were mechanical engineers, and Kalam was the only aeronautical engineer in our group at that time. After we completed the training and we returned back and established the Equatorial Rocket Launching Station, and we launched our first rocket on the 21st of November 1963. Now, this was the American rocket, and the payload the exciting experiment for that was from France. So Le Mans was the art scientist from France, and he was a PE also. He was a project scientist from our physical society. The idea was in let out sodium vapor in the atmosphere at a time in which there was light was not reaching to the ground. It is just after the sunset, and at a height of over 100 kilometers, the sunlight would still reach. If the sunlight falls on this vapor, it would glow like a cloud. The sodium light would come out, characteristic to orange yellow tape of light.
Yes.
That would be photographed from 3 or 4 different locations on the ground with the star background. And if we take a series of such photographs and then compare them, we can find out in what direction and at what speed the cloud was moving, and therefore what atmospheric wind velocities beyond 90 kilometers out to 150 kilometers. That was the first time which we worked on this particular data. That was the time itself also. Saravik was thinking, if we are conducting these experiments, it's okay to get the American rocket or French rocket, but later on, we must have our own development of the rockets for sending these experiments. And it was decided to set up the Space Science and Technology Center at near Thiruvananthapuram, Subai rocket launching station is over there. Slightly different location. And that's how we started our initial work of development of our rockets and development of propellants that were necessary for that. Initially, all our efforts were for the solid propellant, and later on we added the liquid propellant also, and now we're adding in the cryogenics also. That was the time when we started looking at various issues that would be involved, or not just real development, but taking it further. And Dr. Sarabhai wanted us to take it further to the level that we will launch our own rocket, which will carry satellites on. And we have here in that we were on the west coast near Thiruvananthapuram, which quite a large amount of population, so it was not a good place from where to launch a large rocket.
Yeah.
And therefore, in 1968, I was asked to take in from where we can actually launch the large rockets. And that's I took to a full journey, fooling around on the boat, jeeps and everything, all the way from Chidambaram up to the north of Rikatsvik. By then we decided that Sririputta Island is the right kind of location from where we can do it. It was the backwaters were such that towards our work starts, we should expand and the population around us will not grow. And therefore, that was the place that was selected, and we started our work. And while all this thing was work on our rockets and satellites, very good launching. Dr. Sarabhai was also thinking in the direction that we should be able to use communication satellites to bring education to the country. In 1967, one of the one television station operating in this thing. And television also being considered as the real educational medium. And what was then planned was to conduct an experiment using the American satellite communications technology satellite network. This satellite was a very, very large satellite, and for the first time on the satellite, there was going to be an antenna for 10 meters in diameter. With that antenna and a high power, it was possible for us to receive the television signals directly from space in any village in India. And so this was the experiment that was planned. And for that experiment, then I was asked to go to Goddard's Research Center and make certain that what they were making in a satellite, what we were going to make with the rock system, everything is compatible with each other.
Yeah.
And while this thing is going on, the next step was also taken, and that was study as to how we can make our own communication satellites to follow after use of the American satellite.
Yeah.
And that's how we started our studies. And steps were taken. That was the time when also decided that we will go ahead with scientific satellite also, our own satellite. If possible to be launched by us, and if not, that may be with the help of USSR. That was just about the time in 1971, and Dr. Saraway passed away. And it was a speech first was Menon to go as the chairman ISRO, and then later on was Satin Zone to go as the chairman ISRO. And while this experiment was going on, making the studies and what we're going to do, Dr. Saraway also thought one additional thing, and that was use of the remote sensing satellites, using the infrared resistance of the reflected infrared from the sun that comes out from the vegetation, and how we can use it for our resource mapping. And that experiment was also undertaken, and we started to work with that. As the systems are growing, with the making of the satellite, for that one, the Indian scientific satellite project was established in Bangalore, and all the areas that we had were converted into the space application sector. The units in Trivandrum were converted as becomes Saraway Space Center. And you can, after my initial work at Water switched into a war, I came and started my work in Ahmedabad. And the time I was doing this, once we kept making certain, the technology that we have developed for the satellite receiver will be given to the ESCI. They will manufacture all those things. But our responsibility is sort of to make certain that we will deploy these 24 televisions in different villages, operate them, maintain them, and they will receive the signals from the applications technology satellite. And yes, that experiment we conducted in 75, 76, very successfully. And then the government interested in the InSat satellite restaurant. The Indian National Satellite for telecommunications, and we draw very Earth observations. I called that, and I was to make the project director for that. And this same year in 1976, 77, also the government took the responsibility to ask Kalam to become project director for the SLV-3, the first satellite launch vehicle project, or with all the subject stages were used. Once the SLV-3 was completed, then Kalam left and he went back to DRDO, and we continued with inside SLV, and then SLV was ordered with augmented satellite launch vehicle, ASLV, and we undertook the development of the Polar satellite launch vehicle. ASLV also had counted in the mission period within Polar satellite launch vehicles to give around, and PSLV in 1992, where the failure was stopped. And then in 94, I went to Tirunelveli as the director for the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. And in that year, we made two successful missions. One was the ASLV Deep Out and PSLV Deep. And I know that PSLV has been growing, and now with 56 years being launched, the 57 are probably next month or so. So PSLV was developed, and the GSLV, Geosynchronous Launch Vehicle, was developed. And now we have the GSLV Mark III or LVM Mark II, which is the largest. So using that, just like Chandrayaan had been launched, Chandrayaan 2 or Chandrayaan 3 or so has been launched. We already launched the astrosat Iridium. Next mission would be our Aditya, and using our own launch vehicles now. We're launching our communication satellites, starting as an InSat, now they have been to the GSat series, but we covered the satellites, and all of our remote sensing satellites, and resource. These are the two series which were launched. And that have become extremely successful. We're getting extremely good quality images. In the 1983, after InSat, we can talk with operational. Every day we are now making that we cover little information, the images, or 20 images per day we get from the satellite, and whenever necessary we can take in more. So all this work is going on both the development of the science as well as what the technology. And the future, we will be taking it further to Gaganya, carrying our Indian destinies.
Yes. So, sir, with this significant developments of Indian space program, where do we stand in the international space scenario?
But in the interstellar space scenario, everybody has done night. It started with our cartosec and the resource-sec data.
Yeah.
Because once we started getting the data, there are many countries who have established their own ground stations in their country and they read the data over the satellites. And that's how they got the complete, confidence in the Indian systems. They have seen the success rate of the launch vehicles.
Yeah.
We have launched so far more than, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 430 or 440 satellites for foreign targets.
Yeah.
And the largest working of course is if we launched was 104 satellites at one go. So that's, yes, certainly, international community has now definitely come to the stage with this, yes, they can rely on India and wherever the launch vehicles are available. We have now developed additional, that was the small satellite launch vehicle also has been developed, so that if there is a smaller satellite which wants to go independently, that also can hold it. Yeah, with the we are getting requests all the time about the launching their own satellites or our vehicle. It clearly indicates that yes, we have the very good standing international Chandrayaan-1 was quite successful. That was the first time. In addition to the Chandrayaan, which as an orbiter which went around the moon, there was the additional payload, the moon impact probe, which separated and landed or the moon, where it landed out of that place. The dust came up, and we were able to take the spectral observations of that, and from that conclusively it was proven that they thought on the moon.
Yeah, like on the second.
That's a very big about it. And after that, they're using the same launch vehicle, BSMB, we're able to send a satellite up to the Mars.
Yes.
So international standing with it, people have recognized that yes, in India we can do these things and we can do it at a lower cost than others.
Yeah, so coming back to the Chandrayaan-3 mission, which is the exciting topic. So, can you explain to us how these changes in the orbit size were achieved?
Okay, now, any orbit with a satellite is there. If you add a little velocity, which we added, the tangential velocity which we add, when you're adding a tangential velocity, the distance to the planet or distance of moon or Earth, that does not change immediately. Velocity instantaneously changes. Due to that, now the other side of the orbit, we will see that from perigee, if we were to add the velocity, then the aquarium will be raised. The aquarium, if we were to add the velocity, the perigee will be raised. Or if we were to reduce the velocity at perigee, then the aquarium will come down. So basically, tangential operations are carried out, which results in minimum energy required for change at the orbit. Now for Chandrayaan, when Chandrayaan entered the moon orbit, at that time on one side it was close to the moon by about 150 or 170 kilometers, and the other side the aquarium was about 18,000. And then we kept on reducing it, and finally now we have carried out all the operations. We first making it circular, and I think yesterday's operation has now brought it in closer to the moon. On one side it is 100 kilometers, on the other side it is 25-30 kilometers.
Yeah.
And each of these operations are carried out by using the propulsion system that is carried in the lander. The major propulsion system which are there in the propulsion module, that was for the initial acquisition of the orbit, initial circularizing the orbit, and that was separated out on the 17th of August. But as it is, we require now the propeller systems for the change of the orbit, deorbiting, finally doing the soft landing.
So that brings me to my next question. And now that we are all waiting for the final ascent, to the descent, I should say, to the moon. So we hear these terms soft landing in the media. So could you explain a little about that?
We attempted the soft landing in the Chandrayaan-3.
Yeah.
Now, the idea was that we were getting the images from the orbital high resolution camera, which are there in the orbit of the Chandrayaan-3.
Yeah.
Those images, what we were getting, were then compared with what we had taken the earlier images, we decided where what we really lacked. The place where we wanted to land, that image was also stored onto the lander. And as Chandrayaan we start reducing the velocity and it starts approaching the moon, and we have to keep on reducing the velocity and try to land there. So basically what it means is that if like our moon in we reduce the velocity, it actually crashed up to the moon. I think that Chandrayaan will also happen the same kind of it after reaching to the altitude of about maybe 8 kilometers or so. Chandrayaan we landed at 1,000. So what we are trying to do is that whenever you are moving from orbit going down to the Earth, it has got horizontal velocity way forward as well as it has got vertical velocity going down. Now both of these we have to completely reduce, because anything that comes in for landing, we are coming for the landing a little bit with the runway at a speed of about maybe 200 kilometers per hour. That's not the case with your landing there on the moon. So there is no atmosphere, there is no friction, so we cannot meet that. We have to come in like a helicopter landing and continuously keep on reducing the velocity so that we can get down to about at the most maybe 2 to 3 meters per second. At that velocity, if something comes down, and we use often to those coordinates, but the shower will be absorbed by the way to make certain that it comes to land exactly vertically.
Yeah.
If it comes at a different angle beyond a particular, then they get towered. So we have to make certain that the angle is maintained. We have the cameras available on the lander. We're comparing the pictures with what has been already known. Chandrayaan orbiter is still working, right? There in the orbit. So Chandrayaan-3, it was decided that we increase the fuel load, but we will not carry the orbiter to another orbiter. It's already there. So the large propulsion module was added, capacity was increased, then the fuel capacity on the lander was also increased. Basically, what we are looking at is that it has to happen automatically.
Yeah.
Here, the soft landing, let's say by Apollo 11 also. Neil Armstrong, as he approached, he saw that where he was approaching, there were rocks. So he had to maneuver and move slightly away from that particular path. But we expect that kind of a capacity is there in the intelligence that has been built up in the Chandrayaan-3 also. And what sort of happened were stored images were comparing with what we actually see. Once the final descent comes starts, and that time we were determined that the landing place is exactly in the same place. So we don't have to maneuver too much. And once that has been done, the exact time at which you should land down, we need to separate and fire additional level thrusters. That has been done. And then maybe in the 8 minutes or so, we were on that. The location has been selected such we want to go to the near the South Pole, because we're expecting that as the sunlight comes in at an angle there at the South Pole, it's like the Earth, North Pole or South Pole, we get here 6 months of night, 6 months of day.
Yeah.
Same phenomena is happening there also. Now, on the South Pole, the total amount of illumination is less, and if the illumination is less, then in some of those beaches and small craters also, we expected there should be frozen water. And in order to cook for the water, Is it by way closer that needs a place in library?
Okay. That is a very important intervention you have given to us. And from the description, I want to ask you this question. At Ajeenkya DY Patil University, we have several branches of engineering, such as mechanical, electronics, computer science, biomedical engineering, and aerospace, and now the space technology M.Tech program. So for this newly passing out engineers, what are the opportunities that they can for doing Indian space innovation and then an international opportunity?
Okay. I think the opportunities are going to be there all the time. Opportunities are now opening up also. Just the work of ISRO, whatever we are carrying out. We have to remember that large manufacturing, whatever is required, more than 75 to 80% of the world actually gets done at the industry. It's not done inside ISRO.
Yes.
The apparatus we make, filling we do purpose, but operations we do it. The raw materials that are required from that on soil is to be done by the industry. All the mechanical fabrication is actually done by NIT in Mumbai or Hazira, Vachandra near Pune. Moderators, some of them use some school. In the study rockets in Bangalore, they are doing certain work. Chennai, they are doing where it was. So, what is actually one of the industries, once you understand the space technology, you will be working in a private industry, but which have got very specific work going on, all these other missions. Now, PSLV as a vehicle is likely to be, I think, the first vehicle which will be outside in the industry. New startups are coming up. There is the company called as ADYPU. They have started their work. And new these startups, they will start making the launch vehicles. Once that thing happens, this opportunity will grow.
So is it a new policy in the firm?
The new policy action we did last year is that privatization of the space related things will be done, and some of the ISRO facilities which are there, they could be utilized by the IoT industry for testing. So it has more choice, and that's what it is.
So there is a bright future.
That is bright future. But basically, I think what I'm thinking of is that today the situation is that it's not just doing the technology. Businesses are growing. The space tourism is going to grow. There is a completely new branch of the space law which is there.
Yes.
We have a branch for the space tourism that is to make space insurance in the utilization of the space data is also there. And its application would be there in the defense also. So basically, according to which kind of the debate for people to work. If they have an energetic initiative, they want to do something for the space, should have the passion for that, and they can actually do that for it. There will be enough number of opportunities.
Yes.
So that we started with one television studio in Delhi first. Second one was in Mumbai. Today, what is happening? What are we looking at? There are 800 or 900 television channels in the country.
Yes.
So, space has opened up other varieties also. Not just only the space technology, but the space community for all of these which are opened up. Utilization of the Nuovos sensing data, or GIS, which is used for the urban planning also, for the remote planning or disaster relief. Once you understand the space related things and once you take up your process, there will be any match, and then we always some opportunity. Opportunities wise, career wise, it is already working very many back for Mr. Groups.
Thank you, sir. Really encouraging the bar on the student community here in UIT, because we have all branches that you mentioned, law, business management, as well as the technology being taught in civil. So I just want to know that having, once we manage to successfully have the landing, what is the size and the goal of this issue?
Okay. As I said, the first major goal is looking for the water. after growing this kind of a technology, that yes, we can land on a surface which is very rough of the moon. Maybe the next step would be to go to the Mars or so and get the experiments, get the properties of the materials there right on the spot. Not just only we're taking the remote sensing to the spectroscopy or the particle physics, but basically actual physically evaluating. One of the important things right now, which is in line, is just near the surface of the moon, certain amount of atmosphere is going to be very close to it. And we want to study that. We also want to carry on putting a seismometer to check if there are any seismic activities which are taking place on the earthquake. And another important thing is going to be a laser retroreflector. This laser retroreflector will be there, which will allow us to measure the distance from the Earth to the moon. It's a very, very high accuracy by sending a laser beam with the retroreflector. It comes back in the same direction. Once the lander lands, door opens, then the rover comes out. Then there are certain experiments on the rover. And one of the experiments that which we're looking for is to actually measure how the heat flows onto the surface of the moon. So there are various experiments that can be carried out in this way. And the laser, one of the experiments which is there, we expect that it will pick up if there is water on the surface.
So, we have given us a lot of information about every aspect of this mission. I actually had one question in my mind, and that was about this 25 direction mission that people were saying India will be live for us.
Yep.
So I was going to ask you how that affects the Chandrayaan or what possibility. But then, yesterday I heard that the lunar man was maybe been accident.
Yes.
And now that experiment is not going to happen. So what are your thoughts about this?
It's very unfortunate that such a thing has happened. We were all expecting that after 46 years or so, Russia would have them again the ability to go towards the moon and land there. They have launched many times, and I think less than 40% of you have succeeded so far. And that has been the case in the China also, Japan also, ESA also. So when which was not, again, same bit of questions were asked to be as to why the Americans took the short period, just the duration. They launched on 16th of July and ended here on the 20th of July for Pila strong. So the trajectory that they had chosen was that of a very, very high speed, high energy trajectory. So because they have to do the rocket for that, we're also going to carry the astronauts. So when we are carrying the astronauts, then we need to minimize their time exposure outside. So the best thing was to go to the high energy planet. The planet also was the same kind of thing there, and then a very much larger rocket compared to what we are. We went to the Moon Chandrayaan-3, which is a very small rocket. Yes. We were carrying out the trajectory analysis, and we knew that it doesn't make any difference if we were to take a month or month and a half. Let us go slowly. We're changing the orbit, because when we are in the liquid in this way, we change the orbit a bit, measure it, to make certain that whatever we planned has happened, and whatever errors are there will be corrected and the next one. And this way, we are constantly able to correct bring everything within the specification. If you cannot rectify already, I think they are going to say clearly that the experiments and they have reviewed the good data so far, and let us know how much the data we validated. It would have added another laser reproductor of this particular lander. They did not have over the window, but they know what it are. That would have carried out certain drilling exercises on the moon. That's what they were planning. I think they will succeed in the future.
Yes, I'm sure. So with this long discussion that we have had, I would now like to thank you once again for a very intelligent and enlightening discussion like we have had. And I really thank you for what our heart for enlightening us from this marvelous system.
Because the player for me, we here with other people, and anytime you will go on with if I can give a system to the students.
Be very fair with good time. Thank you, sir, for giving one PhD for our students with time. Thank you very much. Yeah.